Greg Mace, Charlie Fortney back with you on ABC 27.3. And York Catholic starting to open up the lead. Charlie, we talked about your involvement in the last 2 years with Advanced Hoops, which you began. It's a training program for kids, for student athletes to get involved. You got a lot of stuff coming up this winter, of course, because it's basketball season.
Well, we do a lot with younger kids in winter. We have for 5 to 10-year-olds a winter games and skills combo, where parents starting in January can bring their kids for an hour and 15 minutes and get not only skills, but some organized instructional games.
And you can go to advancedhoops.com to get more information. Got all kinds of things going on. It's a great website because we got all of our games live listed there, and you can vote on the player of the games. Charlie's got streaming video, all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, one of the girls that just came in the game, Gianna Lupinetti, I've had a privilege to work with this year. And I'll tell you, Greg, I rarely make mistakes being an English and a public relations major on people's names, but it took me about 5 practices to know how to say Gianna. And she finally, she gave me grace for those first 4 practices.
Morgan Klunk has 7. And York Catholic starting to open it up, and Trinity obviously showing some frustration here, forcing that one.
And this has been a tough game for Ashley Betoy. She's going to be a tremendous player this year again. But just the game didn't flow well. Got in foul trouble, has been yanked in and out, and Coach Britton had no choice but it definitely knocked Trinity off their rhythm this game, and definitely a factor in this game.
Well, there's Lupinetti. You talked about her a second ago, and she drove to the basket.
No, she was quick on that play. Greg, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna give you mine. I'm calling Katie Sharam player of the game.
Obviously.
And that would be our Turner Kia player of the game. But I am curious what the fans think. They can go online at advancedhoops.com and vote themselves. Fans at home can vote right now as well.
Well, York Catholic just going to be patient here and take their time with a 13-point advantage, and we're under 3 minutes.
Best thing you can do here, if you're Trinity, is just try to force a turnover. You don't want to foul yet, but it's coming close to that point. But you want to try to force a turnover by trapping and a little bit of pressure.
Well, and Ashley Betts-White had the foul out front. And back to the line to try to get her 41st and 42nd point will be Katie Schramm.
I'm going to bet that she actually gets it. I'm a betting guy here, Greg.
And the first. All right, you got the first one. That's 41. Well, I think you're right. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say that the competition is certainly not going to get any tougher than this for Katie, but it certainly probably will as we go down the stretch and get into districts and then the states. This is a great test for York Catholic and Trinity to come out of the box, and it gives them a measuring stick as they go forward as well.
Well, it's also important to point out that Trinity's in the process of trying to find themselves without Laura Murray. They're a very talented team, but to start out your first game against York Catholic, who's already found with a girl that's been leading them for 4 years in Katie Sharan, big difference. Trinity will be back, and the futures, if these two teams are fortunate enough to see each other again, this game could be different, but York Catholic certainly has the upper hand right now.
We'll jump in the mid-pen play for Trinity starting on Tuesday. They'll be at Bishop McDevitt, then they've got CD East, and then the following Tuesday they head to Central Dauphin. They'll be playing in the Diamond State Classic in Delaware coming up over the Christmas New Year's break. Trinity gets the break. Betts-White to the line, to the lane, and she is fouled. Held to 8 points, and as we said, she was in some foul trouble.
Old Dominion is going to have a very good point guard on their hands. Ashley is the type of player that will play better with that higher level competition, and her game is designed to set up and players that can play at a higher level. She's definitely a distributor. She's being recruited to be a distributor.
Now Trinity 4 of 15 from the field in the second half. York Catholic 9 of 17, and that's a big part of the difference here down the stretch.
Well, it just shows you how comfortable York Catholic is in that. You would think, you know, that pace you would lose your legs, but they're just used to the pace. They're just used to that style of basketball.
That's White. Nice play by Kira Gierzuski. Well, quick timeout for York Catholic, sensing that Trinity had a little bit of momentum there. So with 1:40 left, Trinity, a little racehorse basketball there. They've cut it to 10, which is a big margin here, particularly bonuses coming up. But Trinity certainly stuck with these guys, considering that they've faced one player with 41 points.
Well, and it's going to be neat to see how the Trinity team shapes up, because it seems like, well, they're naturally, Ashley being in foul trouble threw them a little off today, but they're also trying to find themselves on the wing. And we saw glimpses of what that's going to look like. Misitano had several outside shots. Blackburn nailed one. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team shapes up and what character it starts to take.
Hunt's missed, the rebound, and a foul. Sarah Sager will go to the line.
Yeah,
also a junior varsity player.
Yeah, Coach Britton goes to the JV bench here to help her out. She wants quickness. She needs her fastest team on the floor, and that's who's on the floor right now. It's her speed team.
Sarah hits. Lead is 9. And Betts White back into the game.
At this point, coaches and Coach Britton, she just needs to make whatever decision she needs throughout the normal lineup, whatever she can do to try to shake things up and maybe sneak a win here at the end. It's going to be tough to do that with the talented guard player York Catholic, but she has no choice.
You would expect full court pressure after this if she makes this. Ball is loose, and they're going to call a jump. York Catholic gets possession, but good play by Trinity forcing that, and now they can put some backcourt pressure on. Schran gets it. She hasn't missed a minute, has she?
No, I don't think she would have let the coach take her out at this point.
Coming up to a minute. Schran missed. Got her own rebound, and now it'll be, if it's a jump ball, it's Trinity basketball. Well, surprised she took that?
Well, they're winning because of that kind of aggressiveness, and I'm not surprised. Is the coach happy with it? Probably not, but I'm not surprised. How about Sarah Sager coming in the game and giving him a spark? Guarding a girl that's going to Vanderbilt, and you're used to just playing against JV players. Wow.
That's White. 3.
Wow.
She's got 13, and the lead is down to 6. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with the conclusion of this one. You're watching High School Basketball Live on ABC 27, presented by Arlington Orthopedics.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When an injury